big area that parachutes. So we wear parachutes. But the other thing is, can you see where the
We are at Bidford Gliding Club, Aerodrome, whatever it's called, and we are going gliding today.
Hello! Are you actually filming?
Yes.
Oh.
And here's Shell, ready to go up first.
Right, this is the off-road experience. Comes all in with the price.
Yeah, I can tolerate this part.
There's Josh.
I think they'll, in fact, we'll do
But it's almost off the ground now, isn't it?
Yeah.
In between. So we'll be 30 minutes before we take off.
Just a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So, with releasing this tow rope, can that be done from either the plane or the glider in the event of it needing to happen?
Yes.
Okay.
And we can also, if the tow rope is do all the gliders. It's called FLARM. It's called flight alarm, and it's basically an anti-collision device.
Okay. All right.
So if anybody comes near us, you'll see in the glider.
Yeah.
There's a little picture of a glider. Somebody makes a mistake and overstresses it. We know what we've done.
Yep.
Parachutes. So we wear parachutes all the time because it just makes sense to have a parachute on rather than a big cushion, you know.
Yeah. So I've looked at the presentation, but I'm going to tell you I would doubt my chances of being able to.
What are you looking at?
What that is?
That's a flask. No. Okay. Right. We've got some instruments. Now I'll go through them and I'll come to that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
We don't normally come to that, but as you've asked, 55 mile an hour or whatever, if we're flying like that, I have to fly like that, so we'll just come down about the same as a powered aircraft. I'll show you how to put on the parachute and the straps when we get in. Moves things out in the wing, they're called ailerons.
Yeah.
They're all big paddles really, and it also moves that stuff in the back.
Yep.
So that controls the attitude of the glider. This one hasn't got one.
Okay.
That's all. You don't need any strength. It's just. I think it does look. It weighs. If you're old money, still a bit more than a stone. Okay. Right. I'll just put it on and I'll show you. Lovely. And then, I'll do that.
Oh yeah, thank you. So I'm clipping that onto there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, can you see where the wire goes from?
Move out of the way.
So what sort of height would you say that is?
Too low. It's about 1,400 feet something.
They're not moving in the way that they ought to. Well, okay, yeah, I mean.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Is it
that's
comfy?
fine. Yeah, I'm fine.
The sensitivity to G-force. You don't normally.
Try and run it like that.
Yeah.
And let it slide off your hand. If it slides off,
Yeah.
don't grab onto it. Let it slide.
Yeah. Is there a terminal velocity to let go, or is it just as fast as I can
Whenever
run?
it goes.
Okay.
Whenever it goes.
All right.
You run fast, and whenever it goes, it goes.
Okay, fair enough. I see what you mean, it does go.
Yeah. That's why it's already off the ground. With me in it, the tug takes off before me.
I was like, I'm going to have to run 100 metres with this, you know.
Close and locked. Eventualities done. Canopy close and locked.
Above and behind.
Bidford traffic, Tiger 1 is extended finals, runway 06, Bidford. Take a start, young stuff.
Yeah, it's going to take up slack in the rope.
Okay.
Hopefully we should get some thermals under these clouds which are coming up ahead, so we'll have an extended flight.
Right.
All out. Think about the rolling choose one, come with it.
Off we go.
Straight ahead, those are the Malvern Hills.
The Malvern's there, right?
The Malvern straight ahead. On the left is Evesham.
Okay.
And we're just about to cross the Avon on the left and right.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can see.
Straight ahead is the Cotswold Edge,
Okay.
the magnificent Cotswolds. We're on the very north of the Cotswolds here.
Crossing the threshold of runway 24 with the traffic.
There's a glider ahead.
Yeah.
We've got some lift, so after we release at 2,000 feet, which is coming up, we'll head towards that glider. Release now. We'll go right, stuff goes left. Two gliders there in fact, so we'll join them.
Wow.
Hopefully we'll get some nice lift. There they are. Tied up the turn a bit here. There's an instrument called LX100
Yeah.
in the middle right. There's a knob there.
Yes.
We can turn the knob clockwise
Yep.
and then we'll get some audio.
All the way clockwise?
Yep. So for a lift it makes a high pitched noise. For in synced in, it's a low pitch noise. That means we can center and flying thermals without having to look at the instruments all the time.
Yeah.
So as long as it's making that noise, it's good news. If it goes silent or makes a low pitch noise, low tone noise, means not so good. So now we're climbing slowly here. For some reason we always seem to get left over this prison. Maybe they're trying to burn it. But very often if we fly over isolated settlements,
Yeah.
with concrete, tarmac, tiled roofs, they're a bit warmer than the surrounding green fields. And that's, we very often get thermals coming off these sort of warm areas which are a little bit warmer than the surrounding fields.
Right.
So we're having them coming up on the horizon just straight ahead now. You
Yep.
can see the
Yeah, I can see it right
tall
ahead.
buildings.
Yeah.
That's Birmingham. We're not allowed to fly over Birmingham because of the airspace, the airport.
Yeah.
But once we get here, that's on the end of the town now. It's Shakespeare's town, Stratford.
Stratford down.
Yeah, once we get beyond Stratford, north of Stratford, we start getting close to the Birmingham airspace there. So we can't really go much north of Stratford before that's called Snitterfield.
Yep, I know.
Little
Yeah.
airfield there.
Yep.
You can't go north of Snitterfield because you start bumping into the controlled airspace of Birmingham.
Right.
Top of the thermal, so we'll go ahead now towards Evesham. See if we can pick up something better or something better here. Something better. I'll try and turning the opposite direction here.
Is that the airfield there?
Yeah, that's Bidford Airfield, yeah. That's where we took off from. Which is quite easy to spot this time of year, but in the spring, rather just below us there,
Yeah.
in the springtime, after the crops have started growing, every field is the same colour.
Yeah.
So the airfield at Bidford is quite difficult to distinguish from all the other fields because they're all the same colour, they're all green.
Yeah.
Not until you get to harvest time where you get yellows and browns that you recognise, oh, that's our airfield. For example, all the yellow fields, the crop fields, wheat fields around it, they're the same colour as the airfield.
Yeah.
With a thermal, before you know it, you're in a field.
Yeah.
So we always, like today, just about everyone is just flying within gliding range of the airfield. But this is a good thermal, it's quite powerful, giving us about 200 feet per minute rate of climb. There on the right.
Yeah.
That's a high performance single seated glider. It's coming still in our thermal. I found the thermal for it. He's using it. But don't worry, this thermal probably weighs about 100,000 tonnes, amazingly. Attracts a lot of nitrogen trapped into the soil.
Yeah.
But all they could do is just leave it as set aside and hopefully next year, put something in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope for better weather next year.
Well, sometimes they plant winter crops,
Right.
usually in the autumn, like winter wheat. But apparently last year they couldn't do it because it was wet here.
Yeah.
Good food function actually.
Yeah.
All the air brakes and stuff.
Yeah. They really do work.
What they do is they increase your rate of descent. We've got a slight tailwind here. increase the rate of descent. We're going to sort of touch down just halfway down the runway and then sort of roll on towards the end.
That was fantastic. Thank you very much, Richard.
That was Flyer Show.
Yeah. Utterly fantastic.
Just went up in a glider.
Yeah.
And what did you think?
Utterly fantastic. Would recommend it to anyone as long as you can hold your nerve to actually get to do it. Utterly fantastic, and you feel all of the things of the natural environment, aerodynamics, and if you're afraid of flying in commercial airliners, do that because it teaches you so much more about what you're feeling on one of those planes.
Hop in the chariot.
No room in the bus. Yellow grass.
So I think you might be in one of the FWT or FYL ones.
Okay.
Yeah. The ones with the red tails on them.
Okay, right.
And the only
yeah.
ones we can roll with you in and put them upside down.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can talk. So you can see the glider takes off first. He just waits for the show plane with his little stubby wings, and then basically we formation fly all the way up. So it's nice and gentle. You're always flying it.
Would you like to take over the log sheets?
And
Possible.
so,
Or,
in the event,
Where's Rubens was here?
no.
got a couple of
It's very strong. Right? It looks flimsy, but it's not. If you use old money, it takes £2,500 strength to break it, and we only need something about £100 strength.
Okay.
So it's massively over strong, and because it's so strong, we have weak links at the glider end and the tow plane end. Glider end is £700
Okay.
with a spare.
Yeah.
And the tow plane is £900 with spare. So if I couldn't release the glider, I could just pull and it'll
really?
go. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or I could get a tow plane just to release it as well.
From inside the glider.
From inside the glider, yeah. Just pull it and
Well,
the weak link breaks.
Because you've got radios.
Radios to
Yeah, I
talk as well.
know. But I was just thinking, well, I was reading British Gliding Association rules yesterday. So.
Sit back. You'll see that he took off from the Malvern Hill, and he's just been blown with the wind just past us.
So
And
these
here
paraglides have some sort of transmitter on them then, do they?
Yeah, as in front of your nose, and it's got a clock face around it, and if it picks up another glider or paraglider or anything within about 5 miles, it lights up a little light to show you which direction it's in, and it also tells you where it's above you or below you. And if it sends out your GPS position every second and gets theirs, and it does a little calculation, and if it says you're going to get quite close to each other, it changes from a green light to a red light and starts beeping at you.
Oh, good. Okay.
So
Okay. And then if there was something that didn't have one of those transmitters on it, does it pick it up anyway through?
no, we can't see
There's
that.
no
But
radar sort of thing.
every glider and tow plane here has got them. They're not expensive. And what happens is behind the clubhouse, which we gather them all in, and it goes into the internet. And if you look, there's millions of gliders
That's actually fab.
all over the place.
Look at that.
Yeah, man.
I see. So you're from Bridgenorth. Let's see. There's not so many at Bridgenorth today. That's because the weather is better to the southeast.
Yeah.
There's some there. That's up the Long Mend.
Okay. Yep.
but generally the majority of them are to the southeast. So if you, that's a heat map of where the gliders are.
Okay,
So
yeah,
see
yeah,
where
that's
they're
cool.
That's really good.
Yeah.
You wanted to go up Longmen, didn't you, with the winch launch?
No, I didn't.
Winch launching is exciting, but I mean, basically, with an aerotow, you're always flying. From the moment you take off, leave the ground, you're flying. So the very unusual but most likely thing to happen is there's an engine failure in the tow plane. That happens every 1 in 10,000 hours. So that's one in every, on average. So that's at least one every 60,000 launches. So it's very unlikely. We've had one here in the 25 years I've been here. So it's pretty rare. But engines don't normally just stop, but the guy can get back to the airfield, but we ditch him and then we come back. We just fly back. So at any time we can come back, apart from when we're about 30 feet off the ground, then we have to go straight ahead into the next field. Yeah, but we land in fields, not a lot, but most gliders got little engines these days to help them come home, like yachts do. Because you've got some gliders, a new cross-country glider could cost £200,000. You don't want to land in a field and hit a rabbit hole. So yeah, so whereas with a winching, you basically kite up and you're not in a flying position. If the rope breaks, it's safe enough as long as you do the right thing, but you basically got to shove everything forward. All the crap that's on the floor comes up and hits the canopy. It's a bit more exciting than with an aerotow.
What kind of speed do these land at?
We'll land into wind, so the answer, through the air they will be doing about 50 mile an hour.
Right.
But if you've got a 20 mile an hour wind, that'll be 30.
Yep.
If you've got no wind, it will be 50. So today we've been landing this way up the field because the wind is next to nothing. If you look at the windsock there, it's like 2 mile an hour, so it doesn't really matter. So we'll be landing about 50 mile an hour, and it's relatively smooth in that if you go on holiday in a jet, they come in and they basically bang it on the runway, whereas we come in, skim along the ground just a foot or so above it, and then wait for the energy to dissipate and then just settle on the ground.
I did this, I worked there 28 years ago from here, and I still remember it, absolutely vividly.
Yeah.
So,
Do you?
yeah.
Good or bad.
I remember the air brakes working very well.
Okay.
Yeah, the air brakes work really well, which I think it would be very unlikely that you feel funny today because it's not hot and sticky like it is sometimes, and it's not blustery and it's not that bumpy, so I don't think you will. But if you want to get back on the ground, it'll take me about a minute.
Really?
Yeah, so we can always get you back, no trouble. The air brakes work very well. But I don't think you'll want to do that. We'll go across the glider?
Yeah. How long have you been doing this?
53 years.
I'm wondering if it was you I went up with before then.
No, I didn't come here until January 99.
Okay, yeah.
Sunglasses are a good idea. Right?
Yeah, it's fairly bright. I'd take sunglasses.
No. Oh well.
You don't need them. And this is your airspeed.
Okay.
This is your speed through the air.
Yeah.
It's just like speedometer in a car. It's set for it's just through the air, not over the ground, because you get that's a thermal going through. That little bit gust of wind.
Okay.
But generally, that just tells you your speed over is through the air, but not over the ground. And we can go up. Well, it's also in nautical miles. It's like sailors use. In the old days, we used to do sums, and nautical miles got 6,000 feet, which makes things a lot easier than an ordinary mile, which is 535. Yeah. So we continue to use it, but nowadays we've got colour moving maps and all that sort of stuff, so we never actually do the sums anymore. This one is our altimeter, and that tells us how high above the ground we are, and it works like a clock, so that's 500 feet, and when it gets round there, the little hand is out, and that's 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
I think we're both going to 2,000.
Yeah.
So let's zero that. Now if you went to tow plane, you'd see an instrument like this, or any of the powered aircraft, And in a power plane they're called a VSI, vertical speed indicator. Any jet you've been on will have them as well. And it tells you where the aeroplane's going up or down. In a glider, we're not so interested in that. We're actually interested where the air outside us is going up and down. Because we want to find some rise in air and turn and spiral upwards. So the way it does that is it compares the air pressure over a sort of 20-second or 30-second interval and sees where it's changing or not, and that's what the flask's for.
Okay.
It's a vacuum flask.
So it's about pressure.
Yeah, it's all about
okay.
pressure.
Is that what it uses for the beep 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 beep?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that.
See, you've got a new job coming up, I can see.
Now we've got two instruments that do that. There's that one, which is mechanical,
Okay.
very unlikely to break, and then we've got an electrical one, which is the one that goes beep 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 beep, and a happy sound if you're going up and boo 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 if you're going down. Typically we leave that off for somebody's first flight just because it makes it easier to talk to each other without that noise, really.
Yeah.
That's all. That's the G meter, which I'll 0, and we've got a radio. This is called a trim, and it basically, if I've got a 6-stone person or a 16-stone person, I can balance the glider by setting that properly. We also have these air brakes that you asked about earlier. This glider in still air from a mile high would go 30 miles before touching down. So it's a tremendously flat descent. You won't feel that you're descending, you just feel like you've got a seat in the air up there, just like an armchair in the sky.
And that's regardless of the weather conditions?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we get thermals, and there are some around, there's not as much as there was this morning, but because the sun's gone now, which is why all the gliders are down there, 'cause there's still a bit of blue sky.
Okay.
But there's still a bit happening. See where the air is darker, your clouds are dark grey, that's because there's a thermal coming off the ground and rising, hot air goes up, and it gets colder as it goes up, which is why you've always got snow on top of your mountain, and cold air can't hold as much moisture as warm air.
Adiabatic flash rate.
That's it. Steamy jungle. Okay. When it gets a certain height, today it's about 4,500 feet, it goes poof into a little cumulus cloud.
Okay.
Now you can see them in the distance a bit more, but there are some around, so hopefully the tow pilot, I was flying the tug earlier today, and now I've swapped with another guy, but he's a glider pilot as well, so hopefully he'll take us to a good place where we can go up. But yeah, so with thermal, of course, we'd stay up all day long, but if there's no thermals, we'll just gently come down. But to land and get straight back here with that 30 to 1 angle would be really hard. So we have air brakes. Those big paddles in the wing. So look at these things here, and they basically cause much more drag to continue flying it. So we can deal with that. The plan will be to land just here. Now you sit in the front, I sit in the back. Only downside of me being in back is I can't see straight ahead.
Okay.
So if you see another glider or aircraft or paraglider, you let me know.
Don't worry, I will. You can have no doubt.
We'll generally be moving around anyway. I can actually see pretty well. But what we do is I'm going to point things out. For example, today you can easily see the centre of Birmingham from 2,000 feet. So when you're sat in there, this is your 12 o'clock, I'm sat in your 6 o'clock, out in the left wing is 9 o'clock, the right wing is 3 o'clock. So we really do say 3 o'clock high or whatever, if I want you to spot a thing on the ground or something that's flying around. Flarm, talked about flarm. This is a little device.
Okay.
I switch it on, it runs through a test sequence. It's got GPS and it says it's transmitting whatever. And if it sees another aircraft, it'll light up one of these lights and say where it's above us or below us. So this is on, but I'll switch it off. So that's about that. So you sit there, that makes the radio work. no machine gun today. I'm sure you won't need it, but it's just a wee bag. And any questions? No.
Not any. Okay, so that's how you release it. So that one there.
That there adjusts the rudder pedals for your feet, that's all.
Okay.
Now gliders have got two aircraft, any aircraft's got two main controls. One is the stick, so when we're flying along it'll be about there, and the first thing we do is ease it forward and the glider gets a steeper altitude and therefore flies faster. And coming back does the opposite. So that's the first thing, that's just like rubbing the tummy, no trouble. Second one is to turn, and you turn gliders exactly the same as an airliner does. You can't just go like that because you go sideways. So you roll or bank the glider in a direction you want to go. And that means this great big lift vector that's above the aircraft also tilts to the side, and that pulls you around in the turn. Now, because we're sat out the front and the wings are the things that's turning us, the nose doesn't want to come round, so it gets encouraged to do that by the rudder. But it's a very secondary control. If the rudder fell off, I wouldn't worry about it. So we don't teach the rudder initially because if you have a go, and I'd encourage you to have a go, if you're doing that and then doing that while making sure your attitude's right, that's hard enough for the first 3 flights. And you can ignore all the instruments, because looking ahead over this piece of combing is all you need. Because the view you've got, I see that is 50% ground, 50% sky, and that's what it'll look like in the air. So when you ease the stick forward, more ground will come into view, ease the stick back, less ground. And it's about the same level of difficulty as driving a car. Your first driving lesson, you probably went at the weekend to an empty factory car park, so that you could get used to it while not hitting anything. That's our car park. Okay. So the instructor does all the stuff near the ground, because the ground's hard, the air's soft, and once we get up there, there's nothing you can do that would worry me or the glider. If you don't like it, it's probably just because it's new to you, but when I say, I'll demonstrate and follow me through. So you fly glider with your right hand, so you put your right hand on the stick, feel my movement, now I say, okay, you have control, and you say I have control, so we know that you're past control, and then you try it. If at any time you don't like it, you say you have, by the time you say control, I'll do it. But honestly, I could leave it for 30 seconds and there wouldn't be a problem, but I'd be there instantly. So it's fully it's fully dual controlled, so I can do absolutely everything from the back. But I'd have a go. Very few people have a go and don't like it, but it's your flight, you can do what you like. Some people just like sightseeing, some people like to take a lot of photos, some people want to do a lot of flying. You can't predict it until you get up there and see what it's like. Just check that camera. I haven't repeated your act.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
There you go. Just don't know what that little one.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. Thank you.
The pictures that go best is when you take off, because we've got bigger wings, we'll be off first. Until then, the undercarriage will be making a noise and there'll be a little bit of bumps because the grass isn't 100% smooth. But we'll be off quite quickly. Then the tow plane comes off. If you get him when he's 10-20 feet off the ground, that's quite an action picture, because you can see he's flying and you can tell that you are as well.
I'll have a go.
And when we get to 2,000 feet, we'll release him, he goes away, that's another one. And that works for 2, you can see into the airfield. If you take 20 while you're up there, you'll probably jump over the edge because they're all a bit similar.
Right, okay. Yeah.
But whatever you want to do, lots of this, so we're going to do what you want to do. Last but not least, things not to play with.
Yes.
This bright yellow thing. that keeps us attached to the tow plane. So if you pull that halfway along the runway, it will be a very short flight. The other thing is this white or this side red knob, which keeps the canopy on. So we want to do that, otherwise it gets very windy.
Yeah, that's no problem. I will not touch those. What are those little holes for?
It's air pressure.
Right,
Help you with
okay,
that.
right.
We have two different types of air pressure. We have this is called the static air pressure, just fits outside the glider's fuselage, and then we have a sort of funny shape coat hanger thing.
That's what that one was. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's that one.
That
Okay.
does what we call the ram air pressure. Is basically you put your hand out the car window, what you feel is the ram air pressure. Okay. So it's basically tells us how fast we're going.
Okay.
Do you want anybody to help, like, hold the wings up? Or?
Yeah, we'll get young Ruben these chapter England.
I fancy having a go.
You want to have a go?
Yeah. Well, it can't allow it, doesn't it?
Right. Let me just check. Don't put this one on. The only thing that can go wrong with that is some gliders got tie down holes at the end.
Oh, right,
People
yeah.
tend to put their fingers in them.
Oh, right.
Don't stick
put
it
one
in
finger in
there.
there. Yeah,
You
yeah.
just hold it like that.
Yeah.
It's like a bike. It can't balance until it's moving. As
Yeah.
soon as it's moving, no problem. So, yeah, so there you do that. Okay, yeah. Now these parachutes cost about 1,600 quid. And if you ever use them, that's it, you throw them away. Single use only. So quite expensive. To work from very low down. So I've been doing this for 63 years and I've never seen anybody use a parachute. And I've certainly never used one myself. So he's off, used to belong to this club, he moved to London. He's off down to North London now.
How is he?
Came in for a very expensive breakfast. So who's first? Michelle?
I'm going to go first.
Okay,
Please.
like a
That'll...
what to do.
I think it will be a clip time in a second. I've gone metric now.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to.
Because of my bike stuff.
I'm trying to.
It's easier in metric.
I can do both.
Yeah.
Same with you fly gliders with your right hand, but I've been flying tug all morning. You do that with your left hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just
Oh, because you're on the left, aren't you? So you've got your engine on the right, is that?
Well, what in powered aircraft, it's that they very often had two crew.
Yeah.
And so if the throttle was in the middle, the
Yeah.
captain sits on the left.
Yeah.
And so he flies with his left hand.
Right.
Whatever. And the less senior guy
Yeah.
goes on the other side. He's got to learn different.
Right.
Gliders, we always sort of sit like this because there's less air resistance if you sit in tandem. And it's convention that all the air brakes and undercarriage and other things are on the left.
Yeah,
So you always
right.
use your right hand. If you ever see two people sitting side by side in a helicopter, it's opposite way from powered aircraft. The captain sits
Didn't know that.
on the right. So powered aircraft measure distance in knots. Gliders tend to be in kilometres.
Oh.
Americans tend to use normal miles per hour. Everybody else uses nautical miles. Russia, we use meters for height and kilometres. So there's a bit of difference. Anyway, right, let's get this on. Now the first thing is that's clipped onto the wrong bit. But what happens is it goes, if you put it through your legs, and then we clip onto this bit there. Okay. That's it. And do the same at the other side. And that's it. And always do it in that order because, say it's a windy day, if you accidentally would pull the ripcord with only this one done up.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So right now what I want you to do is just pull them so that you're snug inside. You don't need to be tight, but if you were to use it, you wouldn't want to fall out of your parachute. For sure. And that one as well. Tighten up.
This one.
Yeah, a bit more. Oh, sorry, no, the.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Strap. Just pull it out and then that's it. And just tuck it away so that it's not in the way of that red handle, which is the working bit. jump out an aeroplane and go like that. Yeah? That doesn't work for two reasons. One is, it sets you spinning, which is the last thing you want to do if you're jumping out an aeroplane and about to use a parachute. The handle goes over my shoulder, goes over your left shoulder.
Yep.
So you'd be pulling at 90 degrees to what you want to happen. So it's actually like that. Okay. Two hands or one, fine. It's about a stone or about 7 kilos of force you need, but I'm told you would have no trouble. Adrenaline. So that's that. And also, I'm told as you come down, the ground sort of surprises you a bit as you get close to it, because it seems to accelerate towards you, but it's not. But it's like jumping off the top of that van. Just have knees and ankles together and legs slightly bent. But we're not going to do that.
Okay.
Right, what I'm going to do is just pull that one down. Just going to get a shove forward. Can I have a shove forward, guys? Could I have a shove?
Oh yeah. Oh, do I have to? My back's killing.
Your back's killing you.
Nah, I may be 16, but I've got a body of a 65-year-old pensioner.
Oh dear.
I'm innocent, afraid. Beware of the teenagers.
Yeah, they
You're a teenager.
Tiger 1 turning, got 2 Portsmouth hold, or park.
I didn't quite realise you were coming forward that quickly.
That's interesting that the wings are slightly swept forward. That's obviously the mathematically best configuration for a glider. The wings slightly swept forward. I didn't realise that.
Yeah, it's just the person assembling it was a bit
Bespoke.
Yeah.
The real reason is it gives it some degree of stability.
Right.
You want aeroplanes, you want them to be fairly stable so they're not twitchy, but you want them to have enough manoeuvring capability.
Yeah.
There's various ways you can do it. Wing swept forward, wing swept back, wing swept up or down. So this way. Actually, you can come as well.
Oh, me as well. Okay.
May as well see everything. Yeah, so different aeroplanes achieve it in different ways, but that one you see the wings actually go slightly up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's this compromise between manoeuvrability and stability. This one does it by sweeping the wing forward. Now we're going to get you in plenty of time. Again, these are built of, it's fiberglass reinforced plastic.
Okay. Yeah.
So as long as it doesn't get any hotter than 70 degrees, it won't melt. And it's really strong. The only thing that isn't is when it's closed, but right now the canopy is up on just 2 little hinges.
Yeah.
So we can't lean on the canopy, but anywhere else is absolutely fine. Used to glider. Like that. Now, yeah, there's not much in the sky at the moment, but it's coming. That stuff is coming this way. So by the time we get going, hopefully we'll be there. Yes. So getting in.
Van the home button.
Don't lean on the canopy. The sides of the glider are great. Neil everybody finds it easiest to stand on the seat and then just slip down like getting into a bath.
Okay. Yeah.
So in you go.
I may have put this a little bit too tight.
There isn't. We can adjust it now, but once we're airborne, we can't change.
No,
anything.
I'm fine. Yeah, that's okay.
Grand.
This might need to be
Slightly tighter.
Yeah, I can.
That's
Okay.
grand. That's grand. Just tuck it away somewhere. I'll tuck it inside here.
In that way. Okay.
Right, now we do the seat harness first. There's that one, and then there's that one.
These are both single-seated gliders.
Okay. Yeah, so they've found a good thermal then.
Hopefully, yeah, hopefully we'll contact them very shortly. At the moment, getting a bit so I shall start returning that. At the moment they're climbing, which is good. Very weak. This is the maximum security prison just below us here.
Oh yeah, it certainly is.
Don't know what they call it, but
So whereabouts are we at the moment?
this is Honeybourne.
Honeybourne, okay.
This village on the left is Honeybourne. Whenever you get contrast, that's where you've got more chance of getting a thermal.
Right.
This is what's happened in this case. We've gained only 100 feet so far, but as we're going up rather than going down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because normally by now we'd be down at about 1,500 feet on the way down, but this is just keeping us up. It's not very powerful, but it's keeping us up. If you feel unwell, let me know.
I'm fine at the moment.
Some people, we do a few turns and they get queasy.
Oh yeah.
If you feel unwell at any time, just let me know.
Okay.
There's a little side vent which you can open. Look on your left side, there's a little vent
Okay.
in the window. Quite a few disused airfields around here, but in the wartime they were quite busy, but
Yeah.
nowadays they're just disused. Like there's one here at Honeybourne, coming up straight ahead
Oh, that one
on the
there.
left here. You can see the outline of the runways and even the hangars which have been reclad and used for industrial purposes.
Yeah.
There's another one called Long Marston where they're actually building a new town on it.
Okay.
That's not far from here. Long Marston is coming up straight ahead. Now it's more difficult to spot. There's a new town that they're building on it. It's a large village.
Oh, right.
Which is a shame because a few years ago it was still in use for flying, but then the owners kicked off the flying clubs because they're going to develop it as a new town.
Right.
Because they didn't want the people buying the houses to live next to a noisy airfield.
Yeah.
So airfields throughout the country are under a lot of pressure from developers.
Really?
There's a class of brownfield sites, you see.
Oh, okay.
Because of that, then it's relatively easy to get planning permission to build 1,000 houses there.
Yeah.
Even though there's no sewerage there or roads or water, they rely on the council to do that. But we're doing quite nicely now. We're at 2,300 feet. We've gained 500 feet from our low point.
Yeah.
Can't complain. Where do you come from?
Just from Bromsgrove.
That's Birmingham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what it is. It's on the western edge of Birmingham, isn't it?
Yeah, like more like South Birmingham. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just helping out with the club as an instructor. I normally fly in Yorkshire, so
Okay.
I drive down to Yorkshire just to help out for 3 days a week. Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Only until the end of August though. So I don't know the area as well as the locals do.
Right.
Except from a cross-country point of view, I fly cross-country flights as well, so that's where you fly out of grounding range of the field. So, for example, a typical flight might be from here to maybe Northampton, or on to Ely, Cambridgeshire, and then come back. You know, that's a cross-country flight where you're out of gliding range of the airfield. Do that just for see how many kilometres you can fly in a day.
Oh wow.
Or sometimes they run competitions. I was involved with a gliding competition here at Bidford about a month ago now. It was very successful because we flew 8 days out of 9, which is very successful for a competition in the UK. Normally you get rained off.
Yeah.
You can see, whereas here with no restrictions at all, we're well away from Birmingham. We can go wherever we want here actually. Gliders that were with us, they've gone away.
Yeah, I haven't seen them for a little while.
I think we're at the top of this thermal.
Right.
Almost. There's still bits of lift left here, but not much. We have to keep circling because imagine a thermal is a column of air rising up.
Yeah.
So we've got to stay within it, the boundaries of it. If we go beyond it, we hit the sink at the side of it.
Oh, okay.
But we're the everything's late this year because they couldn't. It was with the waterlogging in the winter. They couldn't sow the winter crops because everything was waterlogged, and in the spring, right up to May, they couldn't sow anything because all the fields were waterlogged.
Right.
So everything's been planted very late this year.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of the fields haven't even got a crop in them. They just planted a covering crop of clover, just to see the field through to the next year. So, yeah, everything's behind this time of year.
Yeah.
In fact, our airfield was waterlogged at Bidford until basically until the beginning of May.
Oh, really?
We could only use half of the airfield. Between November and April, we only flew a few days because of waterlogging. It wasn't until the end of April that things were drying out, but then we get another deluge, and that would stop us flying for many days in May.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until late May that it got warm enough to evaporate the water, and then we didn't get any more huge deluges either. So it wasn't until late May that everything started to improve.
Yeah, it's been a horrible year for the weather until quite recently, hasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I was away in Australia for 4 months in the winter, so I missed it all. A bit of lift here, so this is working quite well. There's a few gliders around as well. They're lower than us. So.
Yeah. So you just have to keep a lookout all the time.
Yeah, if you see another glider aircraft, let me know. If you're all hanging out. There are what's called local flying.
Yeah.
If you try a cross-country flight in weather like this, you don't feel so there's plenty of energy left in it. Quite nice now at 2,600 feet.
That's yeah, that's impressive.
This is what we'd call a poor day at the moment. It was good in the morning though, you know, around about 12 o'clock. For
Yeah.
about an hour it was very good.
Right.
But then it clouded over so that there's no sunshine on the ground anyway.
Yeah.
But we're still getting thermals formed because the air is just sufficiently unstable to still produce thermals. So we just need a tiny bit of